Alright, so today I'm on my way to the Tay Reed Beds, which is actually just behind me here. I think it might be one of the biggest stretches of reed beds in the UK. It's about 15 kilometers but down the coast here along the Tay. And what I'm looking for today is a really cool looking little bird called the Bearded Tit, also known as the Bearded Reedling. For those of you who don't know, basically this is what I'm looking for. So I think you can agree it's a really cool looking thing. It's got a call for it, so let's play that. Okay, so that's what we're listening out for. Be walking up and down here, seeing what we can get. I mean, if something else cool comes along on the reeds, I want to take photos of that as well, of course. I know you can get marsh harriers, and probably those things like reed bunting. Today is a bit of a recce trip. I don't even know if I'm going to find them. They might be really tricky to find. I know that September, autumn time is the best time. It's supposed to be the easiest time to find them. But since I'm staying right across the Tay here now, and I have a few days here, I'm going to try and look for them because it's such a cool little bird and I really want to find it. I really want a photo of it.
It's the same old story being told inside my head. I'm too shy to straighten up my bones and be a man. Tear this world apart to let you
in. So it's in this 15 kilometers up along the Tay and quite far out as well. This is what we have to work with. It's going to be like a needle in a haystack, isn't it?
Time's running out, so take the chance. Make a move, cause the store won't stay open till the end. Won't you tear my world apart? Cause I know I need.
So I'm just walking up and down along the edge of the reed bed, listening out for this chew kind of sound that they have. Every now and then I keep checking the recording just to make sure that I got it kind of down, that I can hear it. Most of what I can hear is chiff-chaffs singing, but I also hear some calls in here which I'm not sure about. A guy just called out at me from the reeds earlier, scared the hell out of me. Apparently he's doing a water rail survey in the reeds. He's walking around in there whistling. Freaked me out.
Cause I know I need a start.
Trying to learn a new call like that. I'm not familiar with this call. So the best thing to do is that's why it's a good thing to actually know a lot of other bird calls and songs, because that at least you can rule out what it's not. And immediately when I hear things like the chiff-chaff or the wren or anything calling like that, I can rule them out. I'm just constantly listening out. I'm trying to pick up something that I don't recognize and then just having a better listen, seeing if I can see it. And also I'm looking for just movements or flight across the reeds here. Whenever I see any small birds fly over, immediately put my bins up to see if I can spot what it is. So far, I've only seen reed buntings of the ones I've been able to identify anyways. Some of them are just a bit too fast and they just fly down right away and without me being able to identify it fast enough. I've been here for about 2 hours now and still no bearded tit. I think I've heard it a couple of times, though I'm not 100% sure that I can identify it by sound yet. I need to have like a couple of confirmed, like first hear it and then see it, and then it kind of clicks more. Keep seeing a marsh harrier out here, which is really cool, just hunting over the reeds. But it always seems to be more on the outside of the reeds. Just more towards the Tay. It doesn't seem to come in on this side very much. Maybe it's just unlucky so far. It would be cool to get some photos of that as well. So one thing I wanted to say was that I got a comment in one of my videos from Trizer. I think it might be Mark Trizer, and he commented, and it was a really good point. I seem to just chuck this camera with my 100-400 over my shoulder and just walk around with it. And as he pointed out, that's probably not a very good idea for the camera when you're having this lens just hanging off. It's quite heavy. But what I actually do is, and I might not have shown this in any videos, I just wanted to show that so that nobody actually just throws their camera body over their shoulder on the strap when there's a very heavy lens attached, because the attachment between the camera body and the lens I think will definitely wear out if you do that. It puts a lot of strain on it and you might break your camera body or lens. So what I do though, I take one of these straps and I put it around the tripod collar like that. And that way I carry it like this. Most of the weight is actually on the lens. Now I ran into a wildlife artist here who actually does surveys in these reeds. Absolutely crazy. He's walking around in there with waders on. I asked him if it was safe, and he said that once he found a cow, just its head sticking out. Now luckily it had horns, so the farmer managed to come around and they managed to pull it out by the horns. Just unbelievable. The reeds makes for a really nice background. And I think I was just so preoccupied by trying to find the bearded tits that I didn't notice that in all these trees and all these, like the hawthorn that are growing here, you can just see the green buds coming out. There's a couple of bigger trees as well where the birds are sitting in. And I'm at an elevated bank here, so I'm able to get an eye level capture of them. And with that, when they get in the right position, non-cluttered, and you get that really nice, very soft background from the reeds, it works out really well. So I think that's going to be my kind of secondary, my backup, if I don't actually get a single photograph of a bearded tit. Alright, it is 11. Been here for a bit over 5 hours and nothing. So it's time to go. I'm getting hungry and I don't last that long when I'm getting hungry. Should have brought some lunch, but oh well. Light is very harsh anyway, so if I would have seen it now, I wouldn't have made for any good photos. So, last day tomorrow. Let's hope that works. Oh, the sun is coming up. This is amazing. Had a long-tailed tit on one of these hawthorns behind me here. So it's just birds flying everywhere. I'm just looking everywhere. Yeah, one of these hawthorns here. It's quite nice and simple and only just starting to bud and starting to look a little bit greener. So that's worked out really nicely. Also had a chiff-chaff, a silhouette in one of these shrubs as well. It just worked really nice. So very happy with that. And then a reed bunting came flying and landed a little bit away from me, but it was pretty cool. So I kind of overexposed the bit, made it very bright, but just the reed bunting kind of sticking out there on top of one of the reeds. I think that looked pretty good. I'm very happy with that shot. And in the environment, the bird is tiny in the frame, but I do kind of like it. So even though I haven't had any bearded tits yet, I'm very happy with some of the shots that I have gotten. Alright, that's it. Gonna call it today, and it's almost 11, almost 5 hours today, 5 hours yesterday, and on Friday an hour and a half. No bearded tit, I'm afraid, but I am very happy with some of the shots that I got. Met an artist here who's doing wildlife surveys. He gave me some good information for bearded tit. Almost guaranteed to see it when and where. So if I'm around the area in autumn, I'll come back and I'm gonna photograph them. I'm gonna get some good photos of bearded tit. I definitely don't think that this is a waste of time though. It's been really nice. I've been here now for 2 days straight for sunrise, watching the sun come up here, and just had some really nice weather, loads of wildlife. Yeah, first day I was here, Friday, I had about an hour and a half, and then my girlfriend called. She locked herself out of the house we're staying in. So I had to go back, and the light wasn't very good for the rest of the day, so I didn't come back after that. And I had one day at a wedding. Day after that I was just hungover, nothing happening then. And then I had Monday, Tuesday here now, and it's been a really nice time, but unfortunately not what I came here for. But it's been really cool to be here, to get to know what comes around the reed beds. I mean, I've heard so many water rails. The marsh harrier has been flying in the back here almost constantly. So yeah, not regretting my time here. It's been great. You don't always get what you come for, but yeah, that's what I love most about wildlife photography. I hardly ever regret coming out and doing it, just because it's a nice time walking around nature. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I do tend to do a little bit of stories on Instagram, a bit more from kind of in the field as just now, showing what I'm up to, in the next videos, and a little bit more kind of behind the scenes, and a bit more interactive. So if you want to follow me on that, I'll put a link, or check out the link to follow me on Instagram. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.